Your unwavering belief in meritocracy is the very chain that holds you in place. You have been told a lie, a pervasive, comforting, and utterly debilitating lie. From your earliest days, the narrative has been clear. Work hard, follow the rules, be the best at what you do, and you will be rewarded. This is the foundational promise of modern society, a meritocracy where talent and effort are the sole currencies of success. And you believed it. You dedicated yourself. You honed your skills, put in the extra hours, and delivered results. You became competent, reliable, essential. Yet, you are here, watching as others less competent, less dedicated, but perhaps more politically astutest scent the ladder you were promised. You see the sycophant rewarded, the charismatic but shallow leader promoted, the rule-bender celebrated. A quiet, gnawing frustration builds within you, a sense of injustice that the world does not operate according to the principles you were taught to revere. This feeling is not a flaw in your character. It is the first glimmer of a profound and necessary awakening. You are beginning to see the cracks in the facade. You are beginning to suspect that the game you are playing has a different set of rules than the ones you were given. The truth is, these rules were written 5 centuries ago, not in a corporate handbook, but in a manual for princes and rulers. To understand the world as it is, not as we wish it to be, we must turn to a man whose name has become synonymous with cynical power politics, Machiavelli. Forget the caricature of the cackling villain. The true Machiavelli was a pragmatist, a dismissed diplomat who wrote his masterpiece, The Prince, from a place of bitter experience. He wasn't prescribing evil, he was diagnosing reality. He was describing the timeless mechanics of power, stripped of all moral sentimentality. His work is not a historical artifact. It is a terrifyingly accurate blueprint for the social and corporate dynamics you face every single day. Machiavelli's world rests on 2 fundamental warring concepts and Fortuna. Fortuna is fortune, luck, the unpredictable chaos of circumstance. Machiavelli imagined it as a raging river, capable of destroying everything in its path. It is the sudden recession, the unexpected corporate restructuring, the boss who takes a disliking to you for no discernible reason. Most people are passive subjects of Fortuna. They build their houses on the riverbank and pray it doesn't flood. They hope for the best and are crushed when circumstances turn against them. But the man of power, the prince, does not pray. He acts, he possesses. Now, is not virtue, in the moral sense of being good or righteous? That is the first critical distinction you must make. Machiavellian is martial prowess, skill, decisiveness, courage, and the ability to impose your will upon Fortuna. The man of does not pray for the river not to flood. Here lies the first painful truth. The world does not reward moral virtue. It rewards effective, and the two are often unrelated. Let us transport this from 16th century Florence to your 21st century office. The principality is your company. The court is your team. The prince is your CEO. You, the highly competent expert, believe your technical skill is you believe that building the best product or writing the cleanest code is how you build your levies against Fortuna. But you are mistaken. You have misunderstood the nature of the river. The river you face is not a technical problem. It is a human one. The currents are made of perception, influence, and alliances. Consider the colleague who gets the promotion you deserved. He spends less time on the work itself and more time in meetings. He is a master of visibility. He ensures that his small successes are broadcast to leadership, while his failures are quietly buried. He understands whose opinion matters and cultivates that relationship, offering strategic praise and timely agreement. He is not producing the best work. He is producing the best appearance of work. In the eyes of the court, he demonstrates superior, not the of the engineer, but the of the courtier. He is managing the perceptions that define reality for those in power. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. Your excellent work is felt by few. His excellent performance is seen by all who matter." This is the brutal calculus of the system. Now consider another Machiavellian principle. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Love, Machiavelli noted, is held by a chain of obligation, which, since men are wretched creatures, is broken at every opportunity for their own profit. But fear is held by a dread of punishment which never fails. In a corporate context, fear is not about threats of physical violence. It is about the perceived ability to affect outcomes. The nice guy, the ever-helpful colleague who never says no, is loved. He is appreciated, but he is not feared. He is seen as a resource, not a power center. His chain of obligation is constantly broken. His willingness to help is taken for granted. His boundaries are violated because there is no perceived consequence for doing so. When difficult decisions are made, layoffs, restructuring, he is seen as expendable. His utility is high, but his power is zero. He has no dread of punishment associated with him. Conversely, the manager who is stingy with his time, who guards his resources, who is willing to say no and defend his team's priorities, may be less loved, but he is respected. His no carries weight. He is feared. He has established that his compliance cannot be taken for granted. He must be negotiated with, not commanded. He has cultivated a necessary form of fear. You, in your quest to be helpful and competent, have likely made yourself merely useful, and in the logic of power, usefulness is a form of servitude. The modern concept of meritocracy is the most sophisticated control mechanism ever devised. It presents a beautiful vision, a level playing field where your innate worth, it directs your gaze away from the structure of power itself. While you are busy sharpening your sword, others are mapping the battlefield, forging alliances, and poisoning the wells. The myth of meritocracy convinces you that if you are not succeeding, it is a personal failing. You weren't good enough. You didn't work hard enough. This self-blame is paralyzing. It is the game you have been duped into playing. Machiavelli understood that men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who seeks to deceive will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived. We allow ourselves to be deceived by meritocracy because the alternative is too terrifying to contemplate. The alternative is that the world is not fair, that your success is not in your own hands, but is contingent on navigating a chaotic, often irrational, human system. The very act of playing by the rules is a sign of subordinate status. It signals that you accept the legitimacy of the system as it is presented. Those in power, however, understand that rules are tools. They are to be followed when convenient, bent when necessary, and ignored when they can get away with it. The powerful do not see rules as moral imperatives. They see them as tactical considerations. Your strict adherence to the official rules while your rivals exploit the unspoken ones, is the very definition of playing a losing game. You are bringing a rule book to a knife fight. You believe in transparency, yet decisions are made in closed-door meetings you are not invited to. You believe in honest feedback, yet you are surrounded by weaponized praise and strategic silence. You believe your work speaks for itself, yet narrative and perception are drowning it out. Every time you feel that pang of injustice, it is your mind recognizing the dissonance between the official game and the real one. The great turning point in a man's life is when he ceases to ask, "Is this fair?" and begins to ask, "What is the mechanism at play here?" This shift from a moral framework to an analytical one is the beginning of reclaiming your agency. It is the moment you stop being a pawn and start studying the board. This brings us to the core of Machiavelli's unsettling genius, the central thesis that changes everything. The system is not broken. It is operating exactly as it is designed to. It has never been a meritocracy. It is, and always has been, an arena of power. Your belief in fairness, your adherence to the rules, your noble dedication to pure craft, these are not assets. They are liabilities. In fact, your belief that the game is fair is the primary tool used to ensure your compliance. As long as you believe that your lack of advancement is your own fault, you will continue to run on the hamster wheel, generating value for the owners of the cage. You will not question the structure itself. You will not form alliances. You will not challenge the narrative. You will simply try harder, digging your own trench deeper. Your value in this system is not determined by your contribution. It is determined by the power you are perceived to hold. Power is a combination of your leverage, your alliances, and your willingness to act in your own self-interest. Your technical skill only matters insofar as it contributes to your leverage. If you are easily replaceable, your skill is worthless from a power perspective. This is the brutal truth. To be good, fair, and moral in a system that does not reward these things is to voluntarily choose the role of the exploited. As Machiavelli bluntly stated, a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to ruin among so many who are not good. Your frustration is the dissonance between your moral code and the amoral operating system of the world. To continue to act with pure morality in an amoral system is not virtuous, it is naive. And naivete in the world of power is a fatal flaw. So, what is the solution? Manipulative, backstabbing monster? No, that is a simplistic reading. The solution is not a set of dirty tactics. It is the adoption of a new, superior intellectual tool, the Machiavellian lens. This is the resolution. This is the key that gives you cognitive dominance. The Machiavellian lens is the ability to see the world and every interaction within it, not as it should be, but as it is. It is the practice of detaching emotionally and analyzing the underlying power dynamics of every situation. When a new project is announced, you no longer ask, "How can I contribute best?" You ask, "Who initiated this? Who benefits from its success? Who benefits from its failure? What are the hidden agendas?" When you are in a meeting, you no longer focus only on the stated topic. You observe the flow of deference. Who interrupts whom? Whose ideas are acknowledged and whose are ignored? Who are the centers of gravity in the room? When you are given feedback, you no longer take it at face value. You ask, what is the strategic purpose of this feedback? Is it to help me improve, or is it to manage me, to put me in my place, to lower my confidence. This is not about paranoia. It is about prudence. It is the cold, rational assessment of human nature as it operates under pressure. The goal is not to become cruel, but to become effective. To protect your own autonomy and resources, it means learning to manage appearances, to ensure your hard work is not just done, but is seen to be done by the right people. It means understanding that your reputation is your most valuable asset, and it must be actively cultivated and defended. It's not just about being competent, it's about being perceived as a force. It means choosing your battles, conserving your political capital for the fights that truly matter. The man who argues every point, who fights for perfect fairness in every small injustice, exhausts his influence. He is seen as a complainer, not a commander. Adopting the Machiavellian lens means you stop being a predictable actor. You are no longer just the hard worker or the nice guy. You become a strategist. Your actions become more deliberate, your silence more meaningful. This newfound understanding gives you a quiet confidence. The gnawing frustration dissipates, replaced by a calm clarity. You are no longer emotionally invested in the lie of fairness. You are a dispassionate analyst of the reality of power. Stop trying to win the game they designed for you. The game of work hard and you will be rewarded. Start understanding the board itself. The timeless, unchanging map of human ambition, fear, and interest. That is the beginning of true. That is the beginning of real power.